How you can avoid social media algorithms. Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. A lot has been written in recent years about social media, specifically the algorithms social media companies use when choosing what it is they're going to show you. To say that it's controversial is, of course, an understatement. It's been blamed for everything from increasingly short attention spans to the looming downfall of democracy. Let's review what those algorithms mean, how they work, why they work, and some ways you can avoid them, or at least take back more control. So let's start with understanding just what it means to be an algorithm. An algorithm is nothing more than a set of instructions to be followed. A classic example of an algorithm you're already familiar with is a recipe. Ingredients and steps to produce the desired results, such as a cake. In essence, computer algorithms do the same thing. Their ingredients are data. The steps are the actions taken using that data. And then the result is, well, some kind of outcome. For example, the algorithm that an email program might use to check for new email might involve get account credentials, sign into the email service, ask if there are any new messages. If there are, download those messages. And if configured to do so, delete those messages from the email service. Step-by-step instructions achieve the desired result, which is to show you any new email. Now, naturally, this is simplified. The algorithms implemented by your email program or just about any software on your computer or online are more detailed and more complex by, well, several orders of magnitude. Social media algorithms. Each social media service has its own algorithm or list of instructions. It uses its own data and priorities to determine what to show you. A single social media service may have multiple algorithms at play for different situations, individuals, and locations. One thing common across social media services seems to be the desired result. They all want you to spend more time using their service. The longer you stay engaged, well, the more money they make by showing you more ads and sponsored content. That's where algorithms come into play. What we expect to be shown are the most recent posts, tweets, or videos from the various pages and people we've chosen to follow. That's a simple algorithm. Select everything I've explicitly asked for and show me the most recent. It's rarely the algorithm they use. Apparently, social media services believe that it's not enough to hold our attention. They think we'll use their platforms more and longer if the systems use our actions to predict what truly engages us. Rather than paying attention to what we say we want, they pay attention to what we do. That is a much more complex algorithm. Show posts similar to the posts the user seems to like. What does it mean to be similar to? Well, it could be the content, could be the hashtags, could be posts your friends viewed, it could be any characteristic that the service chooses to define as similar. What does posts you seem to like mean? Well, it could be the length of time you watched a video. It could be the posts you've literally liked. It could be posts you've commented on. It could be posts you shared. It almost certainly includes posts you've interacted with in any way, positively or negatively. Keeping you engaged does not mean keeping you happy. If you spend more time with a post because it upsets you, then social media services may very well show you more posts that upset you. And of course, social media algorithms are constantly being tweaked and tested, all with that goal of getting you to hang around longer. Can we avoid it? Maybe. Sometimes. Some social media services make it possible, although not obvious, to exercise a little more control. For example, on Twitter/X, click the star pattern at the top of your Twitter X feed and you'll have an option for you or following. For you is X's algorithm of what it thinks will engage you the most. Following is who you follow in reverse chronological order. As you can imagine, X defaults to the For You feed in the hopes that it will keep you engaged as long as possible. On Facebook, look for Feeds in the sidebar or the top menu. The default feed uses their algorithm, but feeds should include your friends, groups you're a member of, and pages you've liked, again, in reverse chronological order. Much like X, Facebook makes it easy to accidentally return to the algorithmic feed to show you what it thinks will keep you engaged longer. YouTube is also a social media platform that heavily leverages on engagement algorithms. The default is to show you what it thinks you want rather than what you've asked for. In my experience, it actually doesn't take too much, maybe just watching a single video, to influence YouTube into thinking you want more and more and more videos just like that. However, YouTube has the subscriptions link. The subscriptions link shows you only videos from those accounts you've subscribed to in reverse chronological order. Unfortunately, not all services have alternatives like those I've just described. What I do is consider where I want to get the various types of input. I don't rely on social media for news other than perhaps local breaking news such as traffic or weather. I use social media for its social aspect, to connect with people. Instead, I get important information from other sources. Those sources include email newsletters. I get some of my best news and information via the newsletters I subscribe to. They arrive in my inbox and reliably give me the information I expect. If they don't, I unsubscribe, of course. My inbox becomes one of my best filtered and most focused sources of information I truly care about. RSS feeds. This isn't for everyone, but many websites and news organizations publish their information in this somewhat geeky format. Much like emailed newsletters, using aggregators, I use Feedly, you can subscribe to as many feeds as you like and see only what you choose. Subscriptions. Patreon is actually one example, but using other platforms, I once again pick and choose who or what I want to follow and get their information delivered in an assortment of ways. I typically choose email if it's an option. Google Alerts. Now, this one is somewhat fringe when compared to our typical use of social media, but I find it useful. Google Alerts sends you a message with links to web pages it discovers that match a search term you set up. For example, I get daily notifications of new pages talking about Windows 11 that I can quickly scan and, if so inclined, visit. I still use social media. I think it's valuable, particularly the social aspect. But when it comes to media, I much prefer techniques like these that leave me in control and sidestep social media's attention-retaining algorithms. So understand that by default, you are not being shown what you want, but rather what you react to and engage with. Instead, use social media responsibly and do the best you can to take control of what you see. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/138044. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.